John here, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm still here and I'm still with my Old Country barbecue pits, Pecos, a offset that I bought about 3 years ago, honestly. And I bought this particular smoker because I wanted to get into traditional Central Texas style barbecue, and I wanted to learn how to operate an offset. This one was a really good price point, and it checked a lot of boxes for me. And I figured, I'll buy something that most folks can afford and that I can afford too. And together in this journey, we've done many cooks. We've learned through some experiments that the stack extension can improve airflow and convection in the cook chamber, and that by removing the baffle, we further improved that airflow and got rid of the hot spot in the center. And also learned that managing a fire on these small offsets can be really challenging, and especially holding onto a coal bed. So by semi-insulating the firebox, we were able to accomplish that task. Many of you guys took these modifications and ran with them. Had great results. Many YouTubers have used them and made videos of them. And what's really exciting is that Old Country Barbecue Pits has incorporated these concepts in full in their new G2 smoker that they're selling. And maybe I'll get a chance to see one day, and who knows, maybe get a chance to even cook on one, but I haven't yet. But nevertheless, very excited to see that. And all that being said, the reason why I'm here is many of you have asked me over the last year or so about the baffle and whether or not it could be inverted or turned into a scoop to move hot air faster up into the cook chamber to give back some of that lost cooking surface. I think it could be done, but without hindering airflow. And that's the key here, because airflow is really important in a functioning offset. If it wasn't, we wouldn't trim briskets to be aerodynamic, and everybody in Texas would use a cabinet smoker. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use the old baffle, take some measurements from the chamber, and make a new one and see how it works. I don't know how that's going to work, but give it a shot. It's got to fit down in there. Definitely got to round off the corners. I mean, it ain't perfect. I ain't no blacksmith. But look at that. It sits in there. I can do what all the kids are doing, making a ramp for my heat. And it should not impede the flow. I think like this mess over here, down in this way, I mean, it's kind of like drinking a milkshake through a coffee stir. This, though, is not going to impede the flow that much. It's just going to direct the air up faster. So give me a little more room. It's still going to be hot here, but I probably could put 2 briskets here. I think, After a good cleaning and reseasoning, she's ready for a cook, so let's get to it. Pro tip here, put your brisket in the freezer for about 30-40 minutes before you trim it. It'll make trimming the fat way easier. Alright, here's the setup here. I got the water pan just off to the left of where that hot air is coming up. At least I think so. I might leave it here, but I could move it. I don't know. Going on here is a 16-pound USDA Prime Angus packer I got from Costco. That's right, my Costco is finally selling prime brisket again after over a year. For rub today, we're going on with a 2-to-1 to 1.5 ratio of 16 mesh black pepper, coarse kosher salt, and Larry's seasoning salt. All right, so it's been about 4 hours. I'm running the pit pretty low, in the low 200s. Not taking on a lot of color in this brisket so far. But I'm noticing the front is getting a little bit burnt down the bottom, like it's the hot air is being trapped by this water pan. So I'm going to slide it over and then put a little foil down to protect it. I don't know if it's me or what, but after 14 hours, this thing is just creeping along. It's stuck in the first half of the stall, and the top fat has not rendered. I'm just not ready to wrap. What makes it worse is that it's 4 a.m. and I want to go to bed desperately. So I decided to pull a little trick called the boat method. The way I look at it, this thing should help me render that top fat without washing off the rub while it finishes in the oven. Good night. Right about 7:30, it was finally done. Around 2:05, probe tender. Let me say, not having to have to probe through paper is so nice. Makes the boat method great. Anyways, on the counter it goes to cool for a bit while I lay out some homemade tallow and then wrap this thing up tight and slide it back in the oven, reprogrammed to run below 170 for a long, nice rest. About 7 hours later, she's out of the oven and on the counter, left to cool until it's ready to slice at a nice internal temperature of 145 degrees. The brisket turned out great. Held up to the bend test, held together under its own weight, and then pulled apart with ease like it should. It had a nice peppery top bark, but it was a little bit salty, probably because of that added Larry's seasoning salt, so I'll have to just adjust that profile next time. That being said, the brisket gave me no idea how the inverted baffle even affected anything on this cook. So the only thing left to do here is to run a biscuit test with and without the inverted baffle to see if the heat signatures change at all. So here we are with no baffle, and as you can see, the heat signature after about 30 minutes is pretty much right here in this area, close to the throat, and concentrated in the center. Now in with the inverted baffle, and we're going to line some biscuits up again from the midpoint all the way to the throat, because I don't really care about the rest of the cooker. I want to know what's changing here. Okay, so after about 30 minutes, you can see that the heat signature, just like without the baffle, is pretty much right here, close to the throat and concentrated in the center. In a side-by-side, you can see this a little better, and sure, the biscuits on the right are a tad darker, and that could be due to the inverted baffle, but it's very likely probably to just a swing in temperature. So I don't really see much of a difference. It's probably how the air is just naturally flowing up in both cases. All right, so in the end, did the inverted baffle really change anything? No, I think it doesn't really matter if you use it or not. I think the theory still could apply and could work in certain circumstances, but in this case, it didn't, and I wasn't willing to hinder airflow to change the amount of space I get on this cook chamber. I want a good flow of air across this chamber because, like I said, if airflow wasn't important, everybody in Texas would cook briskets with cabinet smokers. So there you go. That's my video. See you in the next one.